Hey vinyl community, what's going on? It's LJ, and tonight is kind of a different video. It's not a thread response, and it's not a vinyl update, and it's a little more back towards the gear videos that I've done in the past. This time, I've decided to upgrade my turntable, cartridge, and stylus in my primary listening room, which is the one you see in all my videos. And I thought this time, more as a result of the sheer number of new members in the vinyl community, and also the number of PMs that I'll get on a weekly basis from everything along the lines of what types of record sleeves do you use to what type of cartridge and stylus do you like or use. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do something I wouldn't normally do and share a cartridge or a stylus switch or upgrade together with folks here in the VC. Getting into new cartridges and styluses can be both fun and costly, and they can go anywhere from $25 all the way on up to $2,000 and well beyond that. Myself personally, I tend to hang around the $100 range. So kind of the moderate end, and I know this is subject to interpretation, of something really, really decent that you can use at home. The higher end of that being maybe $250 to $300, and of course the cheapest end being down around, $20, $25. I'm not personally the kind of person that will ever spend more than $150 probably on my best day on a turntable cartridge. My ears have probably been damaged from too much heavy metal over the better part of the last couple of decades to pick up or discern the difference, and something in this price range generally seems to sound pretty good and can make my ears pretty happy. That said, we'll definitely go ahead and we'll check out some packaging, some specs, we'll chat a little bit about price, impressions, my overall feeling in my ears, and we'll do a couple of needle drops as well. As far as the needle drops, a quick note on that, of course, we're all watching this through YouTube, so you're not able to hear, unfortunately, what I'm hearing here in the room. And of course, although the video is in high definition, YouTube will compress the audio. So, that said, bear that in mind. What you're hearing through YouTube isn't necessarily what I'm hearing here in the room. But anyways, what I'm upgrading from is my current cartridge, and here's some pics for you to take a look at. I'm currently using the Shure M97xE. I've been using this for the better part of the last 2 years, and this is a fantastic cartridge. So here's some specs on the cartridge itself. Some of the neat things that come along with it are a dynamic stabilizer brush on the front, which will run ahead of the record itself. It does a great job picking up dust and eliminating static. It comes with an alignment protractor. Now, buying a new cartridge and stylus, if you don't have those tools already in your vinyl turntable toolkit, it can be a godsend to have one of those and make setup a snap. Very, very easy. So you've seen a little bit about the packaging and what comes with it. At the time when I bought this, retail on this cartridge was around $79. At the time of making this video, they're available on Amazon for $69. Replacement stylus, when the stylus does go, if you want to keep this cartridge, runs about $45. My impressions overall of this particular cartridge is it's been phenomenal. I'll let you hear a needle drop in a second to give you an idea of what it sounds like, but from my perspective, having used this rather extensively over the past couple of years, I have to say it sounds amazing. It's got a very warm analog sound to it that just brings you right back into the 70s. If you're really looking for, hey, what did albums sound like back then without so much sonic highs and detail, or digital sounding, if you will, if that makes sense, the M97xE is a great card. It's got a great low end as far as the bass goes. The highs, the trebles are very easy on your ears. You can definitely get treble out of it. It's not a problem, but it's not so much that it makes your ears hurt. I have to say I do have the Audio-Technica 95E as well, which is kind of a favorite budget level cartridge at around $35. And while it sounds nice, the treble on that is enough to almost make your ears bleed. It's very, very bright and very shiny. The M97xE is nothing like that. So let's go ahead and check out a needle drop, and then we'll move on to what the upgrade was. So that was a quick look at what you can expect out of the Shure M97xE. Overall, I would say at its price point, it's almost impossible to beat. It's built like a tank. And as far as tracking goes, how well will it stay with a record? I've never, ever, ever once had the M97E mistrack, skip, unless I played something that had been, you know, gouged with paper clips, which I try not to do. Trackability, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A fantastic cartridge, built like a tank. You can't kill it. I will very definitely be keeping it and putting a new stylus on it and putting it into the second listening area. So here's what I decided to upgrade to. After reading a number of phenomenal reviews and watching some really fantastic videos right here in the vinyl community, the Ortofon 2M Red is what I decided to pick up as my next cartridge and stylus combination. Here's some quick looks at the packaging and the specs for this particular cartridge. 2M being an abbreviation for moving magnet, if you will. This cartridge currently has a retail list of $99. One nice thing about this particular cartridge is not only is it packaged phenomenally well, but it's scalable. So the Ortofon 2M line also has a 2M blue and I believe a 2M bronze. And those are kind of higher end cartridges. Now, this particular cartridge is ready to accept, I know, at least the 2M blue stylus. Not sure about the bronze, but that's pretty pricey, so I'll likely never try it anyways. So all you would need to do to upgrade the 2M red to the 2M blue is take the stylus off, the red one, and purchase the blue one, which currently is $179. So still way at the top of my end, and insert it. Now, so far as installation goes, I have to admit it wasn't quite as much of a snap as the Shure M97xE was. Not to say it was difficult. It does not come with an alignment protractor, so you'll need to find one either online or better than ever, just purchase one online. They're not all that expensive, and get it set up correctly with a new tracking force gauge. But I have to admit that even right away, this particular cartridge is still well within its break-in period. It's only got about 6 hours on it so far, and it'll take about another, I'm guessing, 35 hours or so to break in. And what do I mean by break-in? I mean, like a pair of shoes, right? You wear it, and kind of they're a little stiff, and then they just break in and they get comfortable to the point where you never want to get rid of them. When a cartridge does truly break in and hit its sweet spot, it's always been said, you'll know it. You'll hear it if you know what you're listening to. So early impressions, very, very well built. The cart is solid. It is solid. And it looks phenomenal on the turntable. Overall, the sound, it sounds great. Before I go on, why don't you take a listen to it here. So now that you've taken a bit of a listen, I have to say, again, after only 4 to 5 hours of listening time with this particular cartridge, I am already impressed. Impressed enough to share it with you and to make a video and to recommend it if you're in the market for something. Although it hasn't hit its break-in period yet, and again you're hearing a compressed audio stream through YouTube, I have to admit that over the Shure M97xE, the sound stage overall is definitely a bit wider. It seems a bit more full. The highs are a bit more pronounced, so it is definitely a little brighter than the M97xE, and that doesn't bother me. I very definitely still prefer the M97xE for older music, especially older rock from the 70s, just for that analog warmth, but I don't think it would bother me to listen to it with this particular cartridge. So far, not a single issue with tracking, and I didn't expect it. It stays right with the groove and keeps on running. We'll play around with the adjustments a little bit over these first couple of weeks, but again, from that first drop right away, I was impressed and I knew it was a keeper. So if you're in the market for a new cartridge, the M97xE if you want a little more warmth, the 2M Red if you'd like a little more highs. But again, bear in mind, either are only going to sound as good as your setup and your system will allow them to. Always another huge factor and should be something you consider. But either car is a true winner. I highly recommend either one. Really, play with them both. Looking forward to everyone's comments. Feel free to leave one if you have one. Who knows what I'll go after next. Like a lot of you, I've looked into a bunch of different cartridges, and I know a lot of us swear by different ones. Always happy to hear your feedback and your comments. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. Take care. Ciao.